Good morning, geeks and gamers. My voice is cracking because I'm tired because I was up very late, but it's Geeks and Gamers Daily, the daily, weekly, monthly, decadely, whatever fucking show it is. I am joined by Ryan Kennel. We're basically going to rename this to the Marvel Has More Bad News Today show because every single day we have done this show, it feels like Marvel has another disaster, and I'm okay with that. I have no sympathy whatsoever. But how are you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, it's more so developing disasters. It's disasters that we keep getting more information about, whether it might be Victoria Alonso, the Jonathan Majors stuff, or all of their box office issues. But yeah, I'm doing good. It's Friday, which means it's always a big day for us because, we got Friday Night Tights coming up a little bit later, the last daily of the week. And we've talked about a lot of shit this week, but there has been a big Jonathan Majors update, which the reaction from everyone when Jonathan Majors' lawyer released this evidence that we now see, people are, wait, Jonathan Majors' lawyer released that? Like the ones that are supposed to be defending him, they're the ones that released that? What the fuck are they thinking? So we're going to get into that a little bit and get into the very, very intricate details about the Jonathan Majors situation. But yeah, this is the second week we're doing this, right? The second full week of G&G Daily.
I think so. And
Episode
then
10.
We've got Friday Night Tights a little bit later today, and we're going to be at MegaCon tomorrow. How many of you are actually going to make it out to MegaCon that are watching? I know we don't have our full audience here yet, but I'm curious to know. It's hard for me to gauge how many people we're going to have there. I don't know if we're going to have 20 people or 200 people show up to our panel. I really don't know. I can't gauge this. I've been trying to. We've got a little Discord section. A few people are in there. It's really hard to... Like, we got asked a lot about MegaCon before we officially announced. So it is hard to determine how many people are actually going to be there. I hope we can pack it out, but I don't know. I really have no idea.
Yeah, so I can tell you this. I can tell you this. I was there at MegaCon to, get our passes and take a look at where we're doing our panel and everything like that yesterday. I was there for probably about 10 minutes. I ran into 3 people that recognized me, and none of them knew we were doing a panel. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I
know Sandstorm is definitely going to be there. Sandstorm has been promoting our MegaCon panel like crazy over on Instagram. So we know you're going to be there. We'll see you there.
Yes. There's been a few people that I know have been mentioning it. So hopefully we'll see a few of you out there. And yeah, the fact that Ryan ran into 3 people and didn't know we had a panel, man. But we're going to I'll say this tomorrow at the panel, but I'll say something about the promotion side at the panel. I'll explain it, but that's all I'll say right now. But at the panel, I'm sure we're going to record it and we'll have it uploaded to one of our channels. So we'll make sure you guys that can't make it out there can see the panel in its entirety. So also, Marvel is going to die, and I'm here for it. So we're going to continue to talk about that. But before we do that, I got a super chat from a Marcellus. Can you guys hire Robert Meyer Burnett? Apparently Campia can't afford him anymore with laughing emojis. I guess I saw like a video that Campia had uploaded. I haven't watched it, but I don't know the details of that at all. Robert Meyer Burnett is awesome. I love that guy. He's one of the rare people that can talk to he can talk to anyone, and he doesn't even mind. Like, this guy did an interview with me on this channel while doing basically daily shows with Campia. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he caught it from both sides. You know what I mean? For like when he's with Campia, you got people complaining about that. He does interviews with people like me, does stuff with Midnight's Edge, he's been on FNT before. So I really respect Robert a lot. We clearly have difference of opinions on a lot of different things, but he's a genuinely good person. One of the best people I know in this entire space. So I'm not sure what all's going on with the whole thing there, but he'll be fine on his own if that's the case. But I can't speak to the details of it.
So from what I saw, they actually did a joint video on Campia's channel. Where, Robert, he's not gone from the morning show. He's just not going to be there every single day like they had been doing it. Or not the morning show, but the daily show that they do. So, and he's going to be focusing more on like the Robert Meyer Burnett, family of channels and all the shows that he's doing there while still making appearances on Campia's channel. And that Campia is actually going to be essentially sponsoring the channel for a couple months as well.
Okay.
Which he's looking to, from my understanding, from perusing that video. Campia is looking to do a couple sponsorships and stuff for other smaller channels as well, and to help them. And then he and Robert will mentor them a little bit on YouTube and give advice and things like that. So to me, it doesn't seem like any kind of a bad split or anything. It just seems like
No, not
really
at all.
trying out new stuff.
That's not what it sounds like. So yeah, hopefully everything works out for sure. And I'm sure we can get Robert back on the channel at some point in time. He's a good dude. So
I know people really listen, Campia has a very successful show that they do there. And I think Robert's a big part of that because he provides that balance. He provides this discussion and all the knowledge he has and the way that he can really talk about anything. He's a big part of that show. So I'm sure he will be missed, by scaling back his appearances there.
Don't think that's going to happen. I don't think John Campia would sponsor me. Although you guys, if you're curious, maybe you can ask him. I'm sure he'll acknowledge me. I'm sure he'll say my name over and over again, as he always does. But
Campia I might as well take this time to make this announcement and say I'm leaving Geeks and Gamers and joining the John Campia family. I've been offered a position. There's a morning show that's opened up there. So
John was very adamant about he needed a chief diversity, inclusion, and representation officer. He's been really impressed with the work that Ryan's done over on Friday Night Tights and Geeks and Gamers. Specifically the Batman review is really what I think got Ryan the job. So it's very exciting that Ryan's able to move on to bigger and better opportunities. I'm really happy for you, Ryan. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Oh yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. John Campia has already technically sponsored me, gave me a super chat, so I appreciate it.
But I gotta say, with all the Campia roasting we do, I've been watching the guy for a long time. I've credited him for helping inspire me. I'm sure he hates when I say that now. I'm sure he hates that a hateful, bigoted alt-right cousin humping man baby in his basement was inspired by him. And part of me continues to repeat it for that very reason, because I'm sure he's ashamed of the fact that he helped spawn the toxicity known as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. But on that front, on a real note, like what happened to Robert with Collider and Christian Harloff and how they treated him after the David Dorn situation, and how they all canceled Robert, John had his back. John had his back, 100% had his back. He should be commended for that and respected for that, because few people in that space were willing to have Robert's back, and John did. So credit where credit's due.
Well, and I know that both Robert and John are going to be at CinemaCon in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, which, hey, we're actually going to be in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks for the Geeks and Gamers Friday Night Tights Nerdrotic meetup, which is going to be happening in Vegas. What is that? Wednesday, April 26th, I believe, at the Millennium Fandom Bar. That's going to be a blast. Yes. And I'm pretty sure Robert Meyer Burnett is going to make an appearance there. I can't wait to meet him in person. And I'd love it if he brought Campia. I think it'd be a great time, to be honest with you.
Love to have John Campia, and I mean that. Like,
it's like sincerely.
I've met the dude, shook his hand at Star Wars Celebration. This is before I had a following. Shook his hand at Star Wars Celebration. I thanked him for all he does, and I told him, like, one day, I point blank, and I said this in the most respectful way possible, but I was like, one day you're going to know my name, and I am going to debate you on the prequels. That's what I said to him. Now, his response to me was
sure, kid.
Sure, kid. Sure, sport. I'm sure I'm going to know your name. And he definitely knows my
champ.
name now. Yeah, he certainly knows me now. But anyway, we got to move on to our main topics. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. Smash the melee button. Simple request from a simple man. And yes, this is cream soda Dr. Pepper, and it is so fucking good. All right, Ryan, what do we got going on?
Well, I think we got to start off with the Jonathan Majors news. Once Jonathan Majors got arrested on Saturday, the announcement was made to the world. We found out that Marvel's star that's going to be like basically the focus of the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe had been arrested, charged with assault, strangulation, harassment, all these things against his what looked to be partner. We all wanted more information because we've seen these things play out in recent years. We've seen men lie about the things they've done. We've seen women lie about the things they've done or the things that a man has done. So we really all just wanted clarity. We wanted to know what the hell is going on. Jonathan Majors, a lawyer, immediately came out and said, we have evidence that proves that he is just completely innocent, and we can't wait to share that with you. Even so, they have a video. They have not shared the video yet. However, I think a lot of people would really like to see that. They have shared something. Jonathan Majors denies assault charges, shares girlfriend's text messages to prove innocence. Now, as I stated in the intro, we do have the text messages here. A lot of people are saying this: my fault for trying to grab the phone. You say Major's lawyer released these? Quote, saw my injuries. A lot of the quotes that are going to come in these text messages might not be exactly what Jonathan Majors wanted to put out there. But they wanted to put out
quote tweets. That's a lot of quote tweets. Whew.
That's a lot of quote tweets. It's a lot of comments, and it's a lot of ratios on this. But we're going to get into it. We're going to read this stuff, and we're going to see what you guys think. I don't think this helps him at all. It doesn't prove things bad, like that he's guilty. It certainly doesn't prove his innocence. Here it is. Her name's blacked out, right? Censored. Did you leave? This is Jonathan Majors. Did you leave the keys? Goodbye. We'll just say Felicia. Bye, Felicia. And then here's the text from her. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. That's not great. I was so angry that they did that. I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of hospital. Call me when you're out. I love you. Before we get to the second part of that message, one of the things that was initially reported, Jeremy, was that Jonathan Majors, they were in a car. Jonathan Majors was on his phone, and maybe his girlfriend thought that another girl was texting, whatever, and tried to grab his phone. And that's really what started this thing. There's a couple situations. One, if he's sitting on his phone and she tries to grab it, he's like, get the fuck out away from my phone, like pulls it aside, and she starts hitting him or something. And then he's like trying to stop her, trying to get her to whatever. I could certainly see that happening. I could also, by this descriptor, see her trying to grab his phone and him being like, get the fuck off me, and hitting her. All this does is open the possibilities to those things.
The only thing that I like, what stands out to me is that is a very level-headed response to an emotional situation, and it sounds completely strategic. That just sounds like bullshit to me. But so what's the timeline here?
I think the second part is going to be the part that you feel is actually strategic, because this to me is like written completely differently and says some things that they probably shouldn't, or that a lawyer wouldn't want them to say. The second part looks like they were contacted by someone and told to say certain things. They just called again to check on me. I reiterated how this was not an attack, and they did not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. How do you know the judge is going to be told that? Probably because Jonathan Majors' lawyer. That's my guess. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said the judge to know the origin of the call was due to me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior out of care. She promised all will be relayed. That is a way different tone than that initial one. It's even structured different than the first one. Like, it seems completely different. Yep. But there's a couple big things to take away. One, confirmation of my injuries because we had a fight. And two, that it started for her trying to grab the phone. All that does, I think, is provide a lot of ammunition for people. It doesn't prove one thing or the other. It doesn't prove that she isn't the one that initiated physical violence. It doesn't prove that Jonathan Majors is the one that initiated physical violence. But if this is what you're putting out to be like, look, she says it's not his fault, he's innocent, this isn't super compelling.
It really isn't. This is a messy, messy situation, man. I don't know what to make of it, because while I feel that these two are definitely different messages, but neither one of them feels authentic to me. Neither one of them feels like a genuine conversation between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or a boyfriend and ex-girlfriend, or whatever. Like, even though they're structured differently, tonally, they're still it feels like they're still not genuine. Neither one of these feels genuine. So I don't know, man. I'm completely, but again, with that said, even if they don't feel genuine, the fact that Jonathan Majors' lawyer release this as a way to potentially exonerate him, that don't make him look any better either.
No, that's the thing. And they said they have a video out there. They said they have a video showing the thing. I think everybody wants to see that, because what a lot of people are looking at these and seeing a woman that's saying, "I'm sorry this happened to you. I love you. Please don't leave me. It's not your fault. It's my fault." When you're in a domestic violence situation or a potential domestic violence situation, those aren't necessarily great things to see either. And just look at some of the this is just Twitter, right? Just fucking Twitter, likes on Twitter, whatever. But just go through the top ones. My fault for trying to grab the phone. You say Majors released these, quote, saw my injuries. Yeah, I hate to say it, but anyone who's spoken like this knows exactly what they went through to speak like this. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, this isn't helping. She sounds like someone who's accustomed to taking the blame for things that aren't her fault. These texts display a classic fond response of a person in crisis and in fear. Like, it's just bad. I think you shouldn't have said anything. You shouldn't have released this shit. They want the two things here. Hey, it's not I told them it was my fault. And here I reiterated again that it was not an attack, that it was my fault. That's what they wanted people to see.
That's what the focus is supposed to be on, but everything else takes that away.
Yeah. And again, Jonathan Majors certainly shouldn't be fucking, he's already being charged, obviously, but he shouldn't be found guilty just because of what's in these messages. That doesn't show that he fucking is guilty of what he's being alleged of, but it also definitely doesn't fucking prove he's innocent. And for a lawyer to release that to the public is crazy.
What I would like to do is live in a world where we could actually have due process and not have to worry about a bunch of nonsense. And ultimately, while this is just a personal matter between Jonathan Majors and his, is she his ex-girlfriend at the time now, or she was his girlfriend, right?
Who knows what they're like? They're obviously partners in some way, have some sort of relationship or did, yeah.
This is ultimately a personal matter between Jonathan Majors and his girlfriend. Okay, fine. Marvel's the one that has spent the last 5, 6, 7 years virtue signaling about all of this nonsense. Disney, Marvel, they are the ones that have spent all this time building narratives around believe all women, around the Me Too bullshit, about Black Lives Matter, about all this other nonsense. And so this is a guy that you have built, I guess, the future of your universe around in some way, shape, or form. And so that's what's funny about the whole thing now is just like, how are you going to handle this? This is why it's a mistake to always get involved in narrative-driven nonsense. This is why, as a brand, when Marvel is out there taking stances as a brand, it's a problem, because you're going to have individuals within that are going to get caught up in stuff. It's why I don't use Geeks and Gamers to push any stuff. One of my rules on the Geeks and Gamers Twitter accounts, like, if me and Ryan make political videos, do not retweet them ever.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever retweet our political videos. Now, there's dumb people out there that hate us, that just think just because me and Ryan make political videos and we're part of Geeks and Gamers that we're automatically Geeks and Gamers is political. But the rule for Geeks and Gamers is that the brand itself, the actual Geeks and Gamers account, does not take a stand on anything. We share the opinions of others, but the actual account, it's not going to have a pro this or pro that, anything. It's just there to deliver the opinions. Marvel has taken stands on social topics as a company. So when you as a company take social stands, then when you have stars within your company that are getting caught up in stuff, you have to make a statement, because you have set the standard that you are interested in making statements. So now, is it Black Lives Matter or is it believe all women, Marvel? I just want to know the answer, because you decided that you wanted to plant that flag in the ground. So fuck Marvel.
Yeah, and they apparently, the rumors are they've been in contact with Jonathan Majors' agent and are like discussing possibilities. I don't think they know. They were probably just maybe going over, hey, this is what we'll do if this happens. This is what we'll do if this happens. I don't think they're ready to move on from Jonathan Majors, recast Jonathan Majors. He's already done like Loki season 2, things like this. And also, he's not fucking found guilty or anything. And I don't think until he is, or until some super compelling stuff comes out that shows he is, that they should fire him. I think that we've seen things on both sides, these overreactions and, getting people off these projects simply over allegations before the truth really comes out. Then you have a Johnny Depp, situation where, Pirates of the Caribbean, done. He's gone.
Yep.
The Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts movie, done, gone, done, recast. And then a year later it comes and it's, oh, well, actually, we completely were wrong about this entire situation.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think you should rush. I don't think you can rush to judgment necessarily and like cancel somebody. But as these things come out, you do have to continue to evaluate what you think about it. And right now, this is the information Jonathan Major's lawyer is putting out there. And it probably had a big backfire effect on them. The video you've claimed from day one, the video is out there. I think you should let us see the video. Unless the video shows Jonathan Majors on his phone, his girl trying to grab it, him being like, boom, fucking slapping her. Like maybe that's what the video
Chris
shows.
Brown, going full Chris Brown on her.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, it's too bad they didn't give Gina Carano the same courtesy. And that is part of the big problem we have here. On an individual level, there's a certain level of sympathy I have for Jonathan Majors and his girlfriend, and that they are caught up in, this, and it's a personal matter. And we're just sitting here talking about it on the internet. But in the bigger scheme of things, we've seen them treat people like Gina Carano like shit as a company. And now you're giving, all this leeway to Jonathan Majors. And if he voted a different way or if he followed different accounts on social media, I have a feeling that they wouldn't be giving him this much leeway, because that's how Marvel and Disney operate right now, because they're a political propaganda company. It's bullshit.
Yeah. I guess with Kang, they can just pretend that now variants look different or something. Maybe that's how they'll get out of it. Not sure. We got a super chat over on Rumble from Pepe Payne for 5. Trump. Is this not daddy save me mentality? Focus on local elections, i.e. the FNDAs. We focus on federal. There is no federal without state. Please understand this won't be fixed from top down. Thank you, Pepe Payne.
That's more of a D-Day Cobra topic.
Yeah, and Jeremy did a big stream on that yesterday with the breaking news.
Yep.
Cahill over on Rumble says, listening to y'all while driving to MegaCon from Jacksonville. Can't wait for the G&G panel tomorrow. Hell yes.
Yes. So
That's
now
awesome.
that we're at peak viewership again, hopefully not peak, maybe hopefully get up to 2,000 viewers before it's over. But MegaCon is tomorrow. We have a panel, a 45-minute panel at 2:30 tomorrow. Ryan went to go pick up our media badges, and 3 people, you said 3 people met you, ran into you and had no idea.
I ran into 3 people that stopped me and talked to me just because recognized me. And no, I don't think none of them knew we were doing a panel. I had to tell them where it was and what time and everything. So hopefully we'll see those people there, which will be good.
Yeah.
So we got 3.
Yeah.
Got 3.
So maybe if we can get 20 people, I'll be happy. So we'll see. But yeah, I have no idea how many people are going to be there, but we hope you make it out to MegaCon and come to the Geeks and Gamers panel and meet all of us. The whole crew is going to be there. Me and Jay and Ryan are going to be on the panel, but the rest of the crew is going to be there in the audience, and you'll get to meet all of us. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of room that after the panel, we can shake hands and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. We'll be able to do that and everything. So there'll be plenty of room in that location, which is a good thing. Where the fuck am I? Online Fool for £1. Thank you. The Beast becomes a channel member. Thank you. Sebastian for 50 Swedish. Do you think there'll be a John Wick video game coming in the near future? I feel like we got asked that yesterday too.
I do. Yeah, we did get asked that.
I talked about this. I think that's I don't know if it's something I would bet on. Because one, it would take like 3 years from right now for them to do it. And it would have to be done like AAA, super great, like super incredibly well done. And there used to be a day and age, like PlayStation 2 era, where every fucking movie that came out had a video game adaptation.
Yep.
And like, they just, I don't know. I don't know why. It was just part of the entire media package. Yeah, every single movie, there'd be some sort of video game adaptation. That's just, our standards are so much different now, though, for video games that release, especially for something like John Wick. I think that it'd have to be off the chain, and potentially they could. I don't know if you'd be able to replicate quite the feel of that action in it, but that'd be cool.
A few people are saying there is a John Wick game on PS5, Xbox. Oh, on mobile. So there is is there? Oh, to look that up.
I could see it being like a
kind of a throwaway
mobile game. Yeah.
Yeah. I love how We got people, Wally's like, can't wait to see what Corn Pop and Mage do today. I don't know where Mage Demon's at. I think he gave all of his money away, unfortunately. But and Corn Pop, I'm sure Corn Pop will return on Tuesday night's main event. Ryan wouldn't have it any other way, especially since Ryan missed last week. Corn Pop was very upset you were not there, Ryan. But the fact that people in the chat are becoming their own, building their own Geeks Gamers lore makes me very happy.
Yeah, can't say I miss Corn Pop. Mage Demon's all right. He said some bullshit too, but you know.
Except for this guy, mods, can we please ban this account? I've asked repeatedly if we could ban this account. I know he's trying to talk like he knows games now to pretend that he's here for the right reasons. Please ban this account, chat. Please, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
But there's some non-annoying people who are glad I'm back too. So
what's up, Carol?
Thank you. Yes, it's great to be back. My nervous boner for $5. Don't mind me. Just here, snug as a bug, hiding tucked into this waistband. Thank you, my nervous boner. The exiled patriarch for $5. Sports Slick, Ace Champ, Buddy Toots, Shug Scooter. Make condescending nicknames great again. See y'all in FNT. Hell yeah. Thank you. I read that really quick and I was hoping there wasn't some like racial slur thrown in there. It just seemed like a random assortment of things. CJ for $5. Hail Jeremy and Ryan. Thanks for the stream. Listening while at work. There you go. Lady Wendelin for $5. Are you finally healthy again, Ryan? You sound better. Rough month, huh? See you guys in Vegas, my hometown. We will see you in Vegas, Lady Wendelin. That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, I had some sort of I don't know, like respiratory thing, some cough that was bad. What I had the other day was, I think it's just food poisoning. That's the only thing that makes any sense because I got over it so quickly and it came like it just got on me really quick. So I blame the pizza, I guess. It's not going to stop me. I've had food poisoning from Taco Bell too. I still fucking wolf that down. Sebastian for 20 says, would Tom Cruise be a good pick for Tony Stark? Yeah.
I mean, after Robert Downey Jr., I don't know if anybody's a good pick for Tony Stark. You know what I mean?
I think if you're going multiverse and stuff like that, and like have this Earth's version of like Tony Stark, I think that would be great for like a 1 or 2 off thing for sure.
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying it's tough. Like right now, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, they're the 2 greatest castings in the history of comic book movies is Christopher Reeve Superman and Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. Is there anybody else that would argue with that? I mean, you can say Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I think Chris Evans' Captain America is great too, but like Downey's Tony Stark and Reeve Superman, and Reeve Superman is the king. Reeve Superman will always be the greatest casting in the history of comic book movies, in my opinion. But those are the 2.
I saw someone said he's too old now, but Tom Cruise looks 30 years younger than Robert Downey Jr. Like,
yeah,
Tom, whatever they're fucking doing, like Blood of Children or whatever they're doing there, it's working for Tom Cruise, at least when he's in front of a camera. So,
yeah.
Duke Devil for 10. Unfortunately, I'm too busy this weekend to drive across I-4 for MegaCon, but I'm all booked for Vegas. Also, Jonathan Majors' attorney should be acting like a defense attorney, not his PR agent. Yeah, that's true. I can't disagree with that. Sucks we won't see a Duke Devil, but we will see in Vegas. Asian Prince for Aussie, $20. As long as you didn't have pineapple on pizza, we're cool. Yeah, I didn't. Promise. I'll never order that for myself. Alec Baldwin's Finger for 10. You guys should check out the trailer for the new animated series Ark. It's based on the video game. Huge names attached to it. Looks like it's going woke. Well, I don't think I played Ark, so I wouldn't know if it's going woke.
What is it? I want to check that out though. I want to check it out because we could cover that. So you guys should check out the trailer for the new animated series Ark. It's based on a video game. Huge. So I will check that out. Alec Baldwin's Finger. I will check that out.
Pixelated Ryan for $2 says Poppy, Jer, and Rai. Hello. Get Woke, Go Broke for $5. You guys played Resident Evil 4 Remake and fuck James Beta Male Gunn. All right. Well, speaking of James Gunn.
Well, I did buy Resident Evil 4 Remake. Haven't played it yet. Beardo has played it. He's got a review over on Geeks Gamers Play, and he's speaking very highly of it, which I never doubted. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time, so I plan on trying to play through that at some point. It's just been so freaking busy.
Did you see all the nonsense with the Last of Us PC port?
Yes, it's really bad. It's really bad.
Like embarrassingly bad, which is like it's such a missed opportunity for them. Like this whole new player base after the success of the show and everything, and it's just dog shit. So
so some of the pictures, I'll try to find some of the pictures right now that I saw on Twitter. By the way, Mikey Gusler, typical Snyder fan. Christopher Reeve, Superman sucks. Couldn't even ride a horse properly. So there you go, right there. Typical Snyder fan having a hate on Christopher Reeve Superman because they don't understand Superman. So there you go. Thank you for the $5, Mikey Gusler. Reeve is the greatest casting of all time. The definitive Superman. It will never be replaced, ever.
Superman flies. He doesn't need to ride a horse.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Isn't that the song from Big and Rich?
Yeah.
I'll never ride a horse.
After that?
Fuck no, it killed Superman, bro. Fuck that.
People, what about your fucking boy from Fast and Furious? Never gonna drive a car again?
Well, no, like I have control over a car. Like that was driver error, and he wasn't even driving. I won't ride with people. I don't like when people drive me any fucking where. I do not like riding in a car with another human being. I like driving and having my hands on the wheel. I fucking hate when other people drive a car I'm in. And Paul Walker was the passenger in that vehicle. So that's the difference. I'll drive because I can control that. Because I'm a damn good driver. I can't control some fucking horse. Horse killed Superman. If it killed Superman, it'd kill me.
I don't to me, if the animal kills someone, like you fucking lost. That's the way the world works, right? So you fucking get in a situation with an animal that you can't control. It is what it is. Yep. Like a bull, fucking bull riders. Those guys are fucking nuts. But
no, I have nothing against horses. I just don't.
I've rode plenty of horses. They've never killed me. But
no, man. I'll just walk. So,
what about the one on the Rings of Power set? It killed that horse. I think Galadriel probably took a few too many rides on that horse. That's probably what happened. Ironically, like they said they did an autopsy and everything for that horse, and it was actually a cardiac event. So no word on the horse's vac status, but I'm sure that'll be out soon. PETA went crazy hearing about a horse dying on the set of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I couldn't imagine, like the Game of Thrones, all the Game of Thrones stuff was done with like real horses. And it has to be so fucking chaotic, if I had to imagine.
I know you're messing around, Mikey. You've been around forever, man. I was just taking shots back at you. I know you're a big Snyder fan. I respect the fact that you like those movies. We appreciate you.
All right. But I want to get to the newest James Gunn stuff. James Gunn has been battling different rumors pretty much ever since he took over DC. And of course, the juiciest, the thing that everybody wants to know is who is Superman going to be? Well, Grace Randolph had yet another scoop that James Gunn directly responded to and called out on Twitter yesterday. Logan Lerman rumored as Superman. James Gunn shoots down rumors. Here's Grace Randolph. I hear they're very close to a Superman casting. Might not be announced for a while, but it could leak. Very, very close. Role might even be cast or in final talks. James Gunn ended up replying to this right here. So people asked him, right? People are like, hey, not true. Haven't had a single talk with a single actor about the role, just making private lists, prepping material for auditions. Grace Randolph says, interesting. Since it's not true, I guess I can say his top choice is Logan Lerman. We'll see what happens. For the record, I don't know who that is. And then he was forced to be like, hey, just because I don't know who it is, it's not a shot on an actor or anything. I just might not know them. It's funny to see this happen. And James Gunn before has said, like, water is wet. He said, like grass is green, water is wet, and Grace Randolph's wrong. Like, he said something like that before. I will also just remind people, though, that it wasn't that long ago that our friend Josh from Den and Nerds had an interaction with Henry Cavill where he said, or with James Gunn, it says, James Gunn does not like Henry Cavill. James Gunn, sure, false. Josh is like, even more people reached out since you said this to tell me you really don't like him. Just saying what I heard. So weird. You seem so plugged in. And of course, it was like 2 weeks after that, they announced that Henry Cavill was gone as Superman. Now, that doesn't mean that he was lying about not liking him. Maybe he likes him personally, just didn't like him in the role. But James Gunn is being very forward about trying to debunk every single rumor that he possibly hears out there. And seeing him like rake Grace Randolph or the Coles again is just pretty funny.
I don't know, man. James Gunn and his Twitter behavior is a turnoff. Ultimately, like it's funny. I tend to have a higher standard for my leaders to get on Twitter and start ranting. That's why I'm a Trump fan. But in all reality, like, yeah, like him just continuing to interact with people. And then like the Henry Cavill thing to me was a really bad look, considering he responded to Josh from Den of Nerds about his like, oh no, yeah, just dismissive of it. And then like, what was it, like a week later? Wasn't it like a week after that is when the news broke that Henry Cavill was gone?
Yeah, not that long after.
It was very bad timing on that. So I don't know, man. I love Guardians 1 and 2 and the holiday special. I really liked Brightburn. I didn't like Suicide Squad as much as I thought, or the Suicide Squad, as much as I thought I would. I expected to love that movie, and I kind of liked it. I don't know how I feel about a fucking James Gunn Superman movie at all, man. I have very like specific expectations for Superman movies, like, and I just don't know. I don't know what to expect from this or what to think. The casting is going to be important, but you can put all the pieces in place and it still not be good. On paper, Superman Returns, Brandon Routh was great casting. You use a John Williams score. The trailers were phenomenal. I mean, god damn, those trailers were good for Superman Returns, and it ended up being a shithole. It was a terrible movie. Again, everybody knows how Man of Steel to me has the best trailer. Man of Steel's trailer 3 is the best trailer I've ever seen for any movie in the history of trailers. It's the best fucking trailer I've ever seen. I love those trailers so much. I love all the trailers for Man of Steel. The casting obviously is phenomenal. Ended up not liking the movie. I don't know, man. Superman is a tough character to pull off. And James Gunn, I just don't know if I have confidence that he can actually pull this off. So the casting is going to be, I guess, test number 1, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I don't like his constant back and forth on Twitter with people.
The casting is the casting. Once that happens, that will just then be a shitstorm for months.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People fucking hate it. Some people love it, and that'll just be a fight, and it'll be to be on to the next thing. Until 2025 and we see Superman Legacy, it's just going to be the same conversation, because as of right now, James Gunn, for some people, they're all in on it. For a lot of other people, myself included, I haven't seen anything from James Gunn that screams to me the Superman guy, let alone the DC Universe guy.
I know.
So all we can do is wait, I guess. And
if Superman ends up doing a dance off, I will probably just quit the internet.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that he's going to have a Superman dance off. I think that he's going to try to stay very traditional. I think he's going to try to do that. Because I think he knows that's what it needs. But I will see. It's funny to see the fights, though. And James Gunn has responded to a lot of shit. You can look at that one way or the other. I think the thing with Den of Nerds was fucking salty, obviously, and the way he responded to Josh. True, like Josh was like, hey, I heard this. James Gunn says, no, that's not true. And Josh is like, well, ever since you said that, even more people have told me to tell me this. He's like, oh, well, crazy. Like, then he shot back at him. But then we find out that they did, in fact, axe Superman right after that happened. So how accurate was what Josh said? Well, you know, how was James Gunn lying when he told that to Josh on Twitter? And what is he potentially lying about now? Those are all things you get to ask when people are very, very active on social media, like James Gunn has been.
Yeah. Well, question: how's James Gunn's replies different from Ripa's? Well, for starters, pedo jokes for like 10 years straight. Pretty horrific things that ultimately got him fired and made him leave the internet. Secondly, again, when you directly respond about the Henry Cavill stuff, and then Henry Cavill's gone a week later, not a good sign. So those are the issues I have with that. Is that you couldn't even back it up. Like, Henry Cavill is a mega star within the fan community, not the overall box office. You know what I mean? He's not Tom Cruise, but within the fan community. So it's clear that James Gunn knew that Henry Cavill wasn't returning when he responded to Josh. It's clear he knew that. That's obvious. So why respond? Why even respond? If you know for a fact he's not coming back, why even respond? It just seems very disingenuous to me.
And I'm not saying he can't respond. I'm just saying when you do that, you open yourself up to these types of conversations, right? Christopher Nolan's never going to be having these types of conversations because he's not tweeting about these things, right? He's not responding to these things, right?
Could you imagine Nolan argue with people about Oppenheimer right now?
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah. And so that's all I'm saying. I like the fact that James Gunn's doing this because it gives us more content. It gives us more things to fucking talk about. And he's like, I do feel like sometimes he's trying to give people a lot of information to, get them excited or whatever. But at the same time, it opens you up to these types of things.
So. Yeah. No, man. Now, can somebody just make a Christopher Nolan account? Go ahead and get it blue verified, since you can do that easily. Just have Nolan responding in this super classy, uppity way that he would respond.
Yeah.
He's so
I'll
good.
take away your chair. Something like that.
He's so good.
Oh, man. Bugzykins for $5. 9th of May, 2023. 4K Christopher Reeve Superman 5 film collector's edition set. Jeremy, you can pre-order now. I have the first and high quality release.
Listen, I can still watch Superman 3 and 4 and find pure enjoyment out of them, even though they are not good movies. It's because of Reeve. It's because he's, especially 4. He is so good in Superman 4, even though that movie is a disaster beyond belief. Him as Clark and Superman, magic.
DeBeast for $5. Pineapple on pizza is an abomination and not Hawaiian. Confirmed. Remain blessed, gentlemen. Thank you, DeBeast. You must be Hawaiian if you're rejecting that. I get it. McRib Prime for $2. That Christopher Reeve statement was disgusting, and I'm a Snyder fan. And then Mikey followed that up with, he's just kidding. Yeah, it's just a joke.
Hey, listen. Just talking shit. He's just him. Mikey's been around for a long time. He knows I'm a big Christopher Reeve fan. I know he's a Snyder fan. It's just basically internet friends talking shit. That's what it is.
Yeah, like, we joke about fucking Alec Baldwin killing people on a movie set. Humor is humor. Like, whether you think it's too soon or not, or whether you really like that person, get upset. It is what it is. Yep. That's the risk with every joke you might say, even at Universal.
Yep.
Pixelated Ryan for $2.
There's Gary. Says, we love Mikey. We do. Mikey's great. So shout out to Mikey.
That's right. Pixelated Ryan for $2. Jeremy, 5.0 or 4.6 liter V8 Mustang.
So what's interesting about that is, obviously, I mean, the obvious answer is 5.0, but the year model that I prefer is the body style is that's a standard is a 4.6. But the Coyote 5.0, which is what I have a 5.0 Coyote with a Boss 302 intake with headers, flow masters. That's neither here nor there. But the 2000, what is it? 2006, 2005, 2000. I think it's 2006. 2005, 2006 is when they changed the body style. And that body style from 2005, 2005 to 2009. That is my favorite body style ever for a Mustang. But that's the 4.6 liter. And that entire, from an engine standpoint, that entire era was heavily criticized. And so obviously the 5.0 is a better engine. So
where are we? Declan Lyons for $5. The reason Tom Cruise looks so much better than Robert Downey Jr. is the fact that Cruise isn't vegan. Since Robert Downey Jr. started his vegan diet, he's aged terribly. And I think probably once he, like, even Tom Cruise, right? If you see Tom Cruise just like walking around or something and he's not on a set filming, he looks very different. His face is lined. He looks older. Like when he's actively shooting Top Gun or Mission Impossible, he just looks different. And yeah, that was, I think that was part of Robert Downey Jr. too, because he had been dyeing his hair. He had been doing all these things to make himself continue to look like Tony Stark. So then when he stopped doing that, it's just like fucking gray immediately. So, but yes, he also he did go vegan. That's true. Kizzy for 5. Plane was great. I didn't like that how they made Gerard's character act like a wimp, but Mike Coulter made up for it and edited perfectly for a sequel. I liked Plane. I didn't think Gerard Butler's character was a wimp at all.
I didn't see it. I'm not a fan of Gerard Butler.
I like him. He's fucking just, you know what you're getting. I don't know. I like all the like the Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen. What was the last one? I forget what the last one they did. I don't know. Gamer, you remember Gamer? I like that one. I don't know. I think Gerard Butler movies are fine.
I don't know why I don't like him, but it's just I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Daniel Craig either. I hate Daniel Craig. I can't stand Daniel Craig. I don't like anything he's in. I can't stand any fucking movie that dude is in. And I'm glad he put on a dress because that just confirmed my hatred of him as just a fucking actor in general.
Do you remember fucking Cowboys versus Aliens?
Yes.
I was so hyped for that, dude. Like I can't even lie because I loved Casino Royale. Of course, I don't know if this was before or after Quantum of Solace, which I thought kind of sucked, but I loved Casino Royale. And then I love Harrison Ford. And I hear they're doing fucking Cowboys versus Aliens with Daniel Craig as a cowboy. Harrison Ford's a cowboy. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And it was so weird and so dumb. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed by that movie.
Yep. All right, so we got a super chat from BMCCB. Does Meta PC ship FPO?
Does Meta PC ship Fleet Post Office? That is a good question. That I'll have to get back to you on because they might. I don't know. I know they don't do like typical like international shipping, like to like Europe or something. But FPO is a little bit different, obviously. So I'll check and try to find out for that.
We will find out. So again, right now, Ryan, what do we got going on with Meta PCs?
Hey, we still have the double discount. You've got 2 days left for the double discount on code GEEKS, GEEKS, for Meta PCs. You can go click the link in the description, take you to the landing page right there. We got a couple suggestions. You can get the custom Geeks and Gamers GPU backplate and everything. It's awesome. So I would, or the graphics card backplate, I would take advantage of that double discount code because it does end April 1st. So big shout out to those guys.
Yep, there we go. So Ruthie's dropping links right there. So go on over there and check it out. See if there's something you can find that'll work for you. We appreciate it.
Where am I? Fuck. Declan Lyons for, I said that one. Torchwood Gal for 5. I'm not feeling great about anything James Gunn will give us with that convoluted plan of his DC vision. And for fuck's sake, just read a comic book, Jeremy Griggs.
What are you talking about?
Oh, James. No, it must be James Gunn. And for fuck's sake, read a comic book. It says JG. So I assumed that she was referring to you.
Yeah,
I think that James Gunn has read it.
I read comics back in the day.
I think James Gunn's read a lot of comics. I actually, to be honest with you, I just don't know how he feels about staying true to them. You know, how much he uses them for inspiration versus wants to do a like direct 1-to-1 copy. Jimbo for 2. Go ahead.
Well, there's such a strange dynamic. I mean, with fandom, you're always going to get a lot of different wide-ranging opinions, and these creators have to fully understand that. People like Henry Cavill seem to understand that. People like Chris Pratt seem to understand that. Other creators, maybe they do, maybe they don't understand that, maybe whatever. Like Christopher Nolan's trilogy is always, especially the first 2 films, heralded as the greatest comic book movies ever made. And I stand by that statement. I believe that they are. But they're not comic book accurate. They're not. But Nolan gets a pass for that because the movies are so good, but they're not comic book accurate. They have elements of some of the comics. They have elements of certain comics sprinkled in there, but they're not comic book accurate. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you're never going to get pure comic book accuracy. What you want is a good movie that honors the source material. That's ultimately all you want. And then again, I just don't think it helps fighting with people on Twitter all day long. Nolan's not doing that. So
If you mean the Cities Skylines, like the game that came out like 7 or 8 years ago, yeah, that base model would be fine for something like that, opposing force, for sure. Jimbo for 2. Imagine a Nolan / Bale Twitter flame war.
God, I'll trash your lights. God, I would give anything. I would give anything for that.
And Gary chimed in. James Gunn has read a lot of comics, but going with Grant Morrison stuff isn't the way to go. Yeah, I do think he's actually read a lot of shit. But one person's favorite story might not be a lot of people's. So, where am I? Gizmo surplus for 5. Bring Steel back. We need the Shaq verse. John Henry Irons coming back. Shaquille O'Neal. Darian Murphy for 5. The James Gunn Henry Cavill thing is worse than it seems. They used him for Black Adam when they knew they weren't making another film with him. Not true. So Dwayne Johnson was able to go above the heads of the DC to get permission to use Henry Cavill in these movies for Black Adam. James Gunn got hired after that. Like, it was after Black Adam was made. After Black Adam was out is when they hired James Gunn, who then made the decision to move away from him. And Henry Cavill even said that, there's new people that don't have the same fucking plans. So I that wasn't an intentional thing on James Gunn's side at all. He had nothing to do with that cameo. I will defend him in that way.
Buford T. Justice. James Gunn for $49.99. James Gunn has opened up Superman movie casting to all ethnicities. James Gunn is a joke. Grace Randolph has a better track record than James Gunn. Just think how bad that is. We are going to get a black Lois and a trans Jimmy and a Latinx super soy boy. I don't know if I totally agree with that statement, but I also don't think you're wrong, because nobody in Hollywood deserves anything other than your full criticism until they prove you differently. Again, for me, I can only speak for me. James Gunn's got a pretty good track record of movies. I think Brightburn is fucking a better version of Superman than Snyder gave us. 100%. It seems that they understood Superman better than Snyder, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. And the Guardians movies, I like Guardians 2 a lot more than most people. A lot of people really didn't like it, and I get that, and I respect that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I liked Guardians 2 a lot, and even the holiday special I thought was good. Like I said, the only thing that I can point to that it was a disappointment for me was the Suicide Squad, which is a pretty big disappointment. And I think Ryan, actually, you liked that more than I did.
Yeah, I
But
liked
you
it. I thought it
didn't
was
like,
good.
but you didn't like Guardians 2, which I did. So
I wouldn't say I don't like Guardians 2. I think it was an average movie. I think it was a big fall off from the first one. And I think there was way too much focus on, hey, let's just ramp up all the ridiculousness to the next level. And
yeah,
I don't know. The story fell flat for me.
But to Buford T. Justice's overall point, I do see where you're going with this. Like, I would be very concerned about the casting. And like, I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna get the tough, badass Superman that we should get. Like, and again, you don't necessarily have to have that. Like, it's not like Christopher Reeve was the walking definition of, an 80s action hero. You know what I mean? Christopher Reeve was cast because, he had the look, in terms of like the ladies would be, being it, but it wasn't like he was Stallone or Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Which Superman doesn't have to be. But I just think the casting for this role could be, it can be as wide ranging as the perfect casting or the most absolute soy boy we've ever seen. And I have no idea what to expect. Just like I have no idea what to expect with our panel tomorrow. So I don't know what to expect.
Where are we here? Let's see. Kizzy for 5 spoke to someone more technically literate, but they're under the impression Meta PCs is affiliated with Zuckerberg. Apparently, gamers don't like him. Is it? No. In fact, Meta PCs are the company that sued Facebook when they turned to Meta, when they changed their fucking name to Meta. And I can't speak from personally. I don't know anything, but I feel like it worked out well for them in a way. So, no, Meta PCs has been around long before Facebook decided to become a Meta. So, Dragon Blade member becomes a channel member. Thank you, Dragon's Blade. Darian Murphy for 5. But James Gunn was writing his film before Cavill was in Black Adam. Also, they told Cavill to announce he was back without signing him to a contract. But here's the thing. There's like fucking 4 Superman projects in development at Warner Brothers during that time. There's like 3 Batman things. You got Ben Affleck Batman stuff. You got Michael Keaton Batman stuff. You got fucking Robert Pattinson Batman stuff. Like, just because they had James Gunn writing a fucking Superman movie doesn't mean that, James Gunn knew that they were firing Henry Cavill. Like, you've got a black Superman movie that's in development. Like, all this shit. DC is so chaotic and so this way and that way with all these projects they had in development at the time. I just don't think you can sit there and be like, James Gunn, they tried to use Henry Cavill for Black Adam while James Gunn knew that this was happening. I think that's a stretch.
James Gunn stuff is going to be this is the biggest, like, we gauge off of your guys' interest and stuff, and it's like this James Gunn topic is a divisive one, which I'm okay with. So the passion I'm hearing from both sides of it, which I'll say is more so criticism than anything. I don't see that there's a ton of pro James Gunn stuff. There are some people in our chat that is, but I think he's done this to himself though. All the concerns, just like Buford T. Justice brought up and others, like he's earned that. He's earned that right for that criticism. And until he proves the fans that have these criticisms wrong by making a good movie and honoring it, I think that those criticisms are 100% valid. So please, let's go.
Paul Blunt for 279. Gunn spent too much time in blackened men bathroom.
Brian wasn't here for that. So
it's a J meme. Kino reviews for 5. For fuck's sake, just restore the Snyderverse. Reboot after Saga's concluded. Hail the Fellowship. I think we're past the point of that, I think. Thank you, Kino reviews. Kizzy for 2. For movies and series, who's your favorite Superman dad?
Marlon Brando.
It's tough to beat Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. I mean, dude, the narration of him talking and it's just so good. But again, Russell Crowe and Costner were fantastic. They were. Yeah. I can't understand. Like, Man of Steel is kind of like the Tim Pool show to me. I watch the Tim Pool show because I enjoy it, and I fucking hate Tim Pool though. And Man of Steel, I loved everything about it except the movie. I don't understand it. I love the casting. I loved the Hans Zimmer score is phenomenal. The only person I didn't really like is Amy Adams. She's the only casting I really didn't like in the movie. And
I wasn't a big fan of Amy Adams either.
So
what about did you watch Smallville at all?
Watched a little bit of Smallville, but I didn't complete it. So
okay, because it's John Schneider or something.
John Schneider
dad in that.
Yes.
I thought he was pretty good in that. I'm not the biggest Smallville guy, but
I'm a Dean Cain, Lois and Clark guy. I love that series so fucking much.
I think
like Man of Steel is just a weird movie to me because there's so much about it I like except for the movie. So
and I think we're all caught up.
There we go. So it's been another banger. I can't officially announce anything yet, but I think we're going to have a really cool, we're potentially working on a cool guest for Tuesday night's main event. And I may have a superstar joining us named Gary from Nerdrotic if we get that guest on. So it's going to be pretty cool. But we will try to get that pinned down here soon. Friday Night Tights in a few hours over on Nerdrotic's channel. And that's going to be a fun one. And obviously MegaCon tomorrow, we got our panel. So I hope you guys will show up Cobra Cast later tonight. I did a special Cobra Cast yesterday, which was a banger. That was really good. And yeah, other than that, what else, Ryan?
3 Beer Thunder for $10. John Wick 4 was great until he jumped out of fucking building. Well, I can tell you that fall wasn't near as high as the one he took at the end of John Wick 3. So I don't know. Seems to be right in line with the rest of John Wick.
Is John Wick, because again, I'm not caught up on the series. So is John Wick starting to slowly move into that Fast and Furious place where it's like getting a little more crazy? Because
I don't know about slowly. In John Wick, was it John Wick 2 where they gave him the fucking bulletproof suit? I think it was John Wick 2 that they did that. Like, that's pretty fucking crazy. That's pretty insane that you have fucking suits that can just tank bullets repeatedly with no fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's already in that like realm of.
But
insanity.
I mean, like, even the Fast and Furious though, but there was crazy stuff in the first Fast and Furious that, like, from a street racing standpoint, are so stupid that are not realistic. But it didn't really move into the crazy stuff until I say Fast Five. Fast Five's where it started to go, okay, what the fuck are we doing? It's great. I love Fast Five, but that's where it started getting really wild. But you saw minor elements throughout the series. You know what I mean? Where it was like, okay, this is obviously not realistic. Now we're at a point, the Fast and Furious movies, where if they don't have dinosaurs in space, you know, fighting dragons, fire-breathing dragons with Vin Diesel riding one of them, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, that's how crazy the Fast and Furious franchises seems to have gotten.
Yeah.
So,
like, definitely there's like the John Wick universe is a little universe by itself where things are just a little bit far-fetched, right? Things are a little bit crazy. I don't know if it's reached the point of Fast and Furious. Like, when he fucking like went off that cliff and locked the thing in his like tire well and fucking like zoomed over to like another mountain and landed, like, fuck on.
I really haven't though. I've been checked out on the Fast movies since Paul Walker passed away. So I watched the one he was in, and the last one he was in. I don't think I've seen any since then. I've seen a lot of the clips and stuff of them, but like, I didn't see Hobbs and Shaw. I didn't watch that one. Obviously you got The Rock and Vin Diesel having their beef, which to me, I always felt like Vin Diesel was probably the egomaniac, but I'm starting to think this probably was The Rock now. Maybe it's both of these guys. Maybe it's both of them. You know what I mean? That have the problem. But
maybe The Rock wouldn't let Vin Diesel fuck him. Maybe that was the problem. Bashy Washy with 10 gift memberships. Thank you, Bashy.
You guys have been crazy with the gifted memberships lately, and it's appreciated. So, all right. Well,
Wolfsbane for 5. I didn't like John Kent's death in Man of Steel. Should have been a heart attack like the comics, something Clark couldn't stop. A lot of people have criticized that. I liked it. 3 Beer Thunder for 5. John Wick is Dom's long lost cousin. That would be crazy if John Wick showed up in a
Fast and Furious movie.
That would actually be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Taker for $2 in full body cast and Furious. Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool. All right. So we got Friday Night Tights coming up in a few hours. So we'll hope to see you there. Other than that, like I said, yes, we are on Rumble, by the way. So shout out to our Rumble audience. And also, are we on Odyssey or just Rumble right now? So we just
do Rumble for these morning shows.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, I already have to fucking set up 2 streams. I don't have to set up a third every day.
Hey, this stream would not happen without Ryan. I think everybody needs to understand that. Without Ryan getting it done, this stream would be happening every day. So shout out to Ryan. Go subscribe to RK Outpost. So Ryan, what is this name of this super chat that just came in? This has been a big topic on Cobra Cast.
Valkyria Winter.
All right, there. I'm pretty sure that's the right way. I was calling it Valkyra.
It looks like. Let me make sure. It looks like Valkyria Winter. I don't know.
All right, let's see if we got it right. I'm waiting. Now, the whole chat has been just destroying me. See? All right, I don't know. My whole chat was destroying me. So
thank you for saying it. I got it right. Thank you. Thank you, Valkyria Winter. Yeah. That's one of the hard ones, though, because when you're looking at it on screen, the L's can look like eyes because sometimes you can't see the space and all that shit. So,
all right. Well,
Jeremy can't say orangutan either.
That's true. That's true. So we do have a live look at me trying to read that name. Damn! And there it is. And on that note, we're going to end. I hope you guys. Gary says it's hard when you can't read. You're one to talk, motherfucker. All right, guys. Have a great night or have a great day. We'll see you for Friday Night Tights. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships. We'll see you tomorrow at MegaCon Orlando. Check out Meta PCs. 2 days left on that double discount. Every time Ryan says that, I think about discount double take with Aaron Rodgers.
Discount double check.
Yeah, whatever it is. You guys have a great day. Madi 10 for Madi 10 says Shadow Knight. Madi 10 is a moron that's made me a lot of money on Cobra Cast for coming to my chat and hating on me. So thank you, Shadow Knight. Ruthie says Jeremy say orangutan or orangutan. There you go. So shout out to Ruthie and all
you added so many syllables. Like
I'm from Alabama. That's my excuse. I'm from Alabama. I'm from Greenbow, Alabama. My parents are probably related before they got married. It's a fucking blessing that I've gotten this far in life. So I've overcome more than you, Bree. I didn't choose to be born in Alabama. I didn't choose to be inbred. I didn't have a choice.
You were born this way.
I was born this way.
Bashy Washy with another 10 gift memberships before we end. Thank you, Bashy Washy. Everybody fucking turn those gift memberships on. Get a gift membership. Thank you. And then Shadow Knight for $10. Make America great again.
MAGA, baby. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We love you. Have a great day. And we will talk to all of you later. Friday Night Tights. Let's go.